Celebrity scandals aren't new, but how stars handle them makes all the difference. In 2008, Hong Kong's Edison Chen faced one of Asia's biggest entertainment scandals ever and dealt with it decisively. No tears, no excuses, just a brief apology and exit. Fast forward to 2025, South Korea's Soo Hyun responded to his own scandal with an emotional public breakdown. Comparing their approaches, we uncover powerful lessons in crisis management and public perception. Keep watching to understand why Edison Chen's method offers important insights Soo Hyun could have used. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. In 2008, Edison Chen was one of the biggest names in the Hong Kong entertainment industry. He had built a successful career in both music and film, appearing in major productions and becoming a recognizable face across Asia. But in early February, everything changed. A massive leak of explicit personal photos hit the internet. Images that showed Edison with several high-profile actresses in compromising situations. The photos had been stored on a laptop he had taken to a repair shop. Somehow, they were copied and released online. The scandal exploded. The sheer number of images, the fame of the women involved, and the graphic nature of the content made it one of the most talked about events in Asian pop culture at the time. The leak didn't just affect Edison, it pulled in several women whose careers were built on carefully managed public images. Some of them were in relationships, some were members of idol groups, and all of them were now the subject of intense media scrutiny. Rumors spread like wildfire. News outlets published daily updates. Online forums dissected every photo, every angle, and every possible timeline. As the situation spiraled, Edison disappeared from public view. He didn't post online, he didn't give interviews. For a few weeks, it was complete silence from his side. Then, without much warning, Edison Chen appeared at a press conference in Hong Kong. The event lasted less than 5 minutes. Wearing a black suit and reading from a prepared English statement, he said he was deeply sorry for the pain caused to everyone involved. He apologized to the women in the photos, to their families, to his fans, and to the people of Hong Kong. He admitted the photos were real and said he took full responsibility for the situation. Then, in a calm and deliberate tone, he announced that he would step away from the entertainment industry for an indefinite period. He didn't cry. He didn't take questions. He bowed once and walked off stage. That was it. Fast forward to 2025, and a new scandal was unfolding, this time in South Korea. Actor Soo Hyun, known for his clean-cut image and leading roles in television dramas, became the subject of rumors linking him romantically to actress Kim Se-ron. The controversy erupted after her sudden death, when internet users began speculating that Kim had mistreated her or played a role in her emotional struggles. Screenshots, blurry photos, and vague posts began circulating online. Though no official source confirmed anything, the noise grew too loud to ignore. Public opinion turned fast. Fans demanded answers. Brands began pulling his ads. Kim's agency initially issued a written denial, but it didn't calm the storm. Within days, they announced he would speak publicly. The press conference was held in Seoul, broadcast live on television and streamed online. Kim appeared in a black coat and a plain white shirt. He stepped up to the podium, visibly emotional from the start. He denied all the rumors and said that his relationship with Kim Se-ron had been nothing more than a casual friendship. As he continued, his voice began to shake. He paused several times. Then the tears came. He wiped his eyes, covered his face, and apologized. Not for any wrongdoing, but for the pain caused by the speculation. The conference lasted around 30 minutes, most of it filled with tears and silence between statements. He left the stage without taking any questions. When Edison Chen walked off the stage in 2008, after just 5 minutes, Hong Kong and the rest of Asia didn't know what to make of it. The press conference was over before most reporters had even settled in. There were no follow-up statements, no media tour, no attempt at damage control. In the hours that followed, TV stations replayed the clip on loop, analyzing every second of his delivery. Newspapers ran side-by-side breakdowns of what he wore, how he looked, and even the way he bowed. Online forums exploded. Some called it cold. Others called it dignified. No one called it boring. Many people were shocked that he didn't cry, didn't explain anything beyond the bare minimum, and didn't stick around to face questions. But that blunt, almost emotionless delivery ended up having a strange effect. It cut off the conversation. There was nothing new to chew on. He admitted everything and walked away. There was no story left to chase. Some members of the media even expressed frustration. They had prepared for a dramatic, emotional spectacle and instead got a 5-minute exit speech. The reaction from the general public was mixed, but not chaotic. A portion of the audience, especially older viewers, appreciated that he didn't deflect or make excuses. They said he took it like a man, accepted his fate, and removed himself so the others involved could begin to recover. On the other hand, younger fans and entertainment insiders thought it was a missed opportunity. He didn't clarify anything, didn't offer any comfort to the women involved beyond a line or two, and didn't fight for his career. People debated whether he was genuinely remorseful or just trying to cut his losses and disappear. Still, over time, public discourse started to cool. With Edison gone from the spotlight, attention slowly shifted back to the women in the scandal. Some, like Jillian Chung, faced intense backlash and career setbacks. Others managed to recover more quietly, but Edison's abrupt departure had taken enough heat off the situation to allow the story to begin fading. By the end of that year, many people remembered the scandal, but not many were still angry at him. The media, now robbed of their central figure, moved on. Then, in 2025, when Kim Soo Hyun took the stage in Seoul, the energy couldn't have been more different. His press conference had been teased for days. Live stream links were shared in advance. News channels had countdowns. Social media went into overdrive. People waited not just to hear what he would say, but to see how he would say it. From the moment he stepped up to the mic, there were already hashtags trending. Within the first 5 minutes, clips of him crying began circulating online. The media wasted no time. Major outlets pushed out translations, live updates, and reaction articles, while the press conference was still ongoing. Headlines described him as shattered, heartbroken, and overwhelmed. By the time the stream ended, some networks were already comparing his appearance to famous celebrity breakdowns of the past. Talk shows invited psychologists to weigh in on his emotional state. Every teardrop became content. Online, the reactions split into two camps. Some fans rallied around him, saying his emotional display was proof that he was being unfairly attacked. They posted support messages, hashtags, and old clips of his dramas. But others weren't buying it. They said the crying felt rehearsed, that it was manipulative, and that no one should be making a public performance out of a scandal connected to someone who had passed away. A few even brought up Edison Chen by name, pointing out that in 2008, he didn't cry, he just left. By the next day, brands were already reacting. One cosmetics company pulled Kim's face from its ads. An international fashion label paused its campaign. News shows were looping the footage of him sobbing at the mic, cutting to social media comments from both supporters and critics. While Edison's press conference had closed a chapter, Kim's seemed to spark a whole new one. Edison Chen and Kim Soo Hyun faced very different scandals in very different eras, but their choices in how to handle those crises ended up defining them. The two men took opposite paths. One disappeared entirely, the other stayed and broke down on camera. Those decisions shaped not only how people talked about them, but how scandals in Asian entertainment have been handled ever since. When Edison walked into his 2008 press conference, his plan was already set. Say very little, accept responsibility, and leave the stage. There was no attempt to manage the press afterward. No media interviews, no social media follow-up, no carefully worded apology posts crafted by a PR team. He didn't explain the timeline or try to soften the blow. Instead, he acknowledged the damage and took himself out of the picture completely. In doing so, he effectively removed the fuel from the fire. There was nothing more for the press to twist, no promises to dissect, just a short, sharp exit. This was a high-risk move, but one that showed he understood how large the scandal really was. Edison knew there was no quick fix. Rather than drag out the fallout, he pulled the plug. Whether people believed him or not didn't matter. His decision forced the spotlight off himself and slowed down the chaos. His silence became part of the strategy. And by never trying to come back too soon or too loudly, he allowed the scandal to eventually fade without giving it fresh life. Kim Soo Hyun, on the other hand, faced a crisis in a completely different media climate. By 2025, silence was no longer seen as strength. It was seen as guilt. The public expected celebrities to speak quickly and speak often. Rumors around Kim and Kim Se-ron had already snowballed by the time his agency confirmed a press conference. There was no delay, no time taken to retreat and regroup. Instead, the strategy was to confront the narrative head-on and try to reset public perception in real time. Kim's appearance in front of the cameras wasn't structured. He didn't read a prepared statement. He let the emotion take over, and whether it was planned or spontaneous, that became the story. Rather than shutting down the conversation, it blew it wide open. The crying clips, the trembling voice, the long pauses. It gave the media more content to run with. It also left space for interpretation. Was he overwhelmed by guilt or just overwhelmed by pressure? Was it honest or was it PR? This was the risk of that approach. Kim's strategy focused on vulnerability, assuming the audience would respond with empathy. But vulnerability can backfire if it doesn't land the right way. Because he didn't fully control the narrative, reactions varied wildly. Some believed him. Others thought he was acting. The emotional style of his apology made the situation feel less resolved. Instead of putting an end to the scandal, it prolonged it. Brands hesitated. Journalists kept digging. The public kept arguing. What makes the contrast so sharp is that both men stood alone at a podium, facing cameras, trying to protect themselves and others. But Edison's style was clean and final, while Kim's was messy and open-ended. One shut the door, the other left it wide open. Edison's method left a little room for speculation. Kim's left nothing but speculation. Neither approach was perfect. Both had consequences. But in looking at the two press conferences side by side, it's clear that Edison played defense by walking off the field, while Kim played offense by stepping further into the spotlight. One tried to end the story. The other tried to change it. In scandals, perception is everything. Edison Chen's straightforward response in 2008 highlighted the power of clear, decisive action. Kim Soo Hyun's emotional reaction in 2025 showed how vulnerability could either win sympathy or backfire spectacularly. By comparing their different paths, we see why Edison's concise approach remains a relevant lesson for today's celebrities caught in controversy. Whose strategy do you think handled the scandal better? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for more fascinating breakdowns of celebrity news and pop culture drama. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.